Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is an Indien Panzer. It's a Tier 8 German premium tank destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Himmelsdorf, and it's under the command of Razmalian Bealuf of the NUKEE clan. Well, it appears that he's not loaded in yet because his gun has dropped and he's not moving, but he will move eventually, I'm sure of it. Okay, this was a tank that was designed and built by Porsche, and it was supposed to be the tank that they were going to sell to the Indians when they came up and said they wanted to build their own tanks. What happened was that there was two countries in competition to actually provide the Indians with their own tank factory, and the Germans came up with this version, which is, as I said, made by Porsche, and it features a lot of modern design, modern features, but it actually was beaten by a British tank that was made by Vickers, and that was actually called the VJ Answer, which was actually a design that was altered by Vickers to suit the Indians and their climate. So basically, the Indians got a Vickers tank instead of a Porsche tank. Did they get a good deal? Well, they think so, because the British not only sold them a tank, they sold them a town, the factory, everything about it. So they trained the engineers, trained them to make tanks, and trained their own engineers to build them in the future. And, well, basically the Indians got a lot out of it, and they could build as many tanks as they wanted to. The first few tanks were made by Vickers in the UK, but after that, the Indians were manufacturing them in their own factories that they built in India. Now, it's got a 90mm main gun, which is capable of doing 240 Alpha, 203mm pen with standard ammo. With the APCR, that goes up to 237mm, and with the HE rounds, it's capable of 295 and 44mm pen. Okay, what have we got here? Yes, this G-Sword did not expect, well, they did not expect the Spanish Inquisition, no, but they didn't expect a Porsche tank to come round the corner of the Indien Panzer and completely obliterate him by ramming him. So, that's the first kill for Razmalian, and it's a G-Sword 1006 that he actually killed. In fact, it's the same tank, I believe, that he saw earlier on in the square in the middle of the map. Now, so far, we seem to be doing rather well because we're 5 up on the enemy, but Razmalian only has the 1 kill so far. 233 hit points of damage to the G-Saw. Mind you, 293 to the G-Saw, rather, but he did 233 to himself in the ram. I'm calling my lawyer, E50, please help me soon. How do I twist and deliberate ram into self-defense? Yes, he actually caused accidents in this game. He actually said so. He caused 2 accidents, but they were happy accidents, you might say, because he actually benefited from them. Okay, whilst he's coming up here, there is an enemy tank. It's an E75TS, which, as you know, is a version of the E75 that was altered. It's more like a Lerva with changes on it. And, well, he still hasn't shot anything, really. But I think he's very keen to get at the enemy. There's only 3 of them left. Okay, he's going to zap over the gap. Oh, he took off. Wow, he took a lot of damage there, but he literally took off. And now he sees the Leopard prototype down the other end of the road, and he fired 1 and got a hit. He's auto-aimed on, and that one didn't go through, so but he's going to try and... Oh, he's caused another accident. He's killed the Shure MV7X, and now he's going for the kill on the Leopard. Is he loaded? Now he is, and he's got that one too. So he's got 3 kills, 2 of them by ramming, and he's won the game for his team. I'm sure that Razmalian Beiluf is rather proud of this one because he not only got a good result, he got a second-class tanker out of that game, and that's the first time he's had a second class because he got scrolls underneath, and you only get that the first time. He also got a kamikaze because he rammed at least one enemy tank and killed it. There was at least one tier higher than himself. He got a duelist for taking down two tanks who damaged him. And on top of that, he also got an Oskins medal, and that's for destroying 3 enemy tanks or tank destroyers in a medium battle tank in one battle, and they have to be at least one tier higher than himself. So every tank he killed was a higher tier than himself, and we can see here now that he actually killed a Shure MV7X, which, if I'm correct, is a tier 9. The Leopard prototype, definitely tier 9, and the GeForce 1006-7. And that's the tier 9 as well. So, yeah, basically he went down and he caused, as he says, caused 2 accidents, but he actually ram-killed the enemy. And he did it right as well, because by killing that Shure MV7X, he stopped the enemy Leopard prototype from getting away. He basically blocked him in, and that kept the guy in place until he could actually shoot him. And actually, he got a win 8 of 1,771 out of that game as well, which is very good, considering he didn't do much shooting. Only 3 shots, and one of those missed. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, you can see the highest damage in that game actually belonged to the Tiger Mouse in our team, who got 2,931 hit points. Second place was the Prototypo 6, who got 2,659 hit points. The third highest damage was the Shure MV7X, the guy he killed. He got 2,345 hit points. And we can see that Razmalian got 1,283. He was kind of mid-table, but he had a big effect upon the game. And you can see that here, because when you look at the number of kills, you can see the Udizo 33 managed to get 4 kills. But in second place, Razmalian managed to get 3, and so did the Type 57 on the enemy team. And 2 kills went to the Tiger Mouse, the Progetto 46, and the T34 on his own team. Nobody managed to get more than 1 kill except for the Type 57 on the enemy team. And only 4 tanks on that team managed to get kills at all. So when it came to base XP, the top scorer is the Prototypo 6 with 953. Then we've got the Tiger Mouse with 866. Then we got the Udizo 3 with 857. And we can see that in 5th place, we've got Razmalian with 769. That's not bad. He's the tier 8 tank in a tier 9 game, and he gets that sort of damage. Let's have a look at detail. 5 shots fired, only 3 direct hits and 3 penetrations, but he got 1,283 hit points of damage, all of it at close range, and most of that was done by ramming as well. 2 hits received, both penetrations. The armor on the Indien Panzer isn't particularly strong. The strongest armor is only 90mm at the front and the sides of the tank on both the hull and the turret. It didn't actually, as I said, get selected by the Indians. They are actually more pleased with the VJ Anto because it was a Vickers design, very similar to the designs the British Army was using, and of course, which the Indian Army was used to. And of course, it was they were getting not only the tanks, they were getting the entire factories and all the gubbins that goes with it. They were actually setting up new manufacturing towns with all of the facilities for the children, for the adults, the whole thing. It was the whole works. And that's what the Indians wanted. They wanted to build their own tanks in the future. And with a partnership with Vickers meant that they could do that. But with the Indien Panzer, they couldn't. So it doesn't have much armor, this tank. And it's also fairly cramped in the turret as well. 3 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed, and all of them were senior or higher tier than himself. He got a profit of 10,513 credits out of that game on a premium account, and he made a profit on 1,153 experience points out of that game as well. Yeah, it says, how does this end with 3 tank accidents? Well, yes, but it was very careful driving that actually did it. He actually did purposely get those accidents because he rammed into the G-Saw, and the G-Saw wasn't looking when it happened. He just had no idea of somebody coming up behind him until it was too late. And then obviously he ram-killed the Shure MV7X in such a way as to disadvantage the Leopard, and then he could kill that guy too. Very interesting game. Yes, if you kill a higher tier tank by ramming it, you get a kamikaze, because obviously normally lower tier tanks would die in a ram with a higher tier vehicle. But in this case, he worked it so that he got the kill on them and he took the advantage. And then, of course, picking up a medal like the Oskins medal by actually getting 3 enemy tanks killed, at least 1 tier higher than himself. Hope you enjoyed that one. That was quite interesting. It doesn't often happen that way. And when he didn't do a huge amount of killing, but he did get the second highest amount of kills in the game, which is kind of weird. But yes, I think he enjoyed that battle and he actually liked it. I hope you did too. If you did, please give this video a like and thank you for watching.